What if depression isn't actually a brain problem? What if for some people it's an immune system problem in disguise, and you've been treating the wrong organ this entire time? Stay with me, because this one is going to mess with how you think about your own mind. For decades, the story you've been told about depression has been almost entirely about the brain. Low serotonin, misfiring neurons, chemical imbalance. Every commercial, every pamphlet, every well-meaning explanation from a doctor. It all pointed upward, into your skull, so the drugs went there too. SSRIs, SNRIs, the whole pharmacy aimed at brain chemistry. But here's the uncomfortable truth nobody likes to say out loud. For a huge slice of people with depression, those drugs just don't work. Not a little, not enough. You try one, then another, then a third, and the fog stays exactly where it was. Doctors have a clinical name for this. They call it treatment-resistant depression. And if you've ever lived inside it, you know how cruel that phrase actually feels. So what if the reason those treatments failed wasn't because your brain was broken in some special stubborn way? What if the real fire was burning somewhere else in your body the whole time? That's exactly what a new clinical trial is starting to suggest. Researchers tried something that, on paper, sounds almost absurd. They took a drug normally used for rheumatoid arthritis, yes, the joint disease, the swollen knuckles, the inflammation in the hands, and they gave it to people with hard-to-treat depression. An anti-inflammatory, not an antidepressant, not a brain drug, a drug for calming down an overheated immune system. And the early results, people started feeling better, not just a little less sad in some abstract questionnaire way. Their depression symptoms eased, their fatigue dropped, their anxiety came down, their overall quality of life went up. The kind of changes that, if you've been stuck in that gray zone for years, feel almost suspicious when they finally show up. Now pause and really sit with what that implies, because this is where it gets philosophically weird. If calming the immune system can lift depression, then depression, at least for some people, might not be a disease of thoughts at all. It might be a disease of inflammation. Your sadness, your exhaustion, your inability to get out of bed, your flat, joyless mornings. Those might not be coming from some twisted mental loop. They might be coming from immune cells doing what immune cells do when they think the body is under attack. Pumping out chemicals, triggering fatigue, dragging mood down into the basement. You've probably felt a tiny version of this without realizing it. Think about the last time you had the flu. Not just the cough and the fever, the mood, that heavy, hopeless, leave me alone feeling. That wasn't a personality change. That was your immune system flooding you with inflammatory signals that, as a side effect, crushed your motivation and your mood. Scientists actually have a name for it. They call it sickness behavior, and it looks eerily, uncomfortably similar to depression. So the question researchers started asking years ago was simple and a little terrifying. What if some people with chronic depression are, in a sense, stuck in a permanent low-grade version of sickness behavior? What if their immune system never got the memo to stand down? What if the war ended but the soldiers kept firing? This new trial is one of the strongest hints yet that this idea isn't just a fringe theory. It's small, and the researchers themselves are careful about that. It's early. It's not going to replace every antidepressant on the shelf tomorrow, but it cracks the door open on a completely different model of what depression even is. And here's where it gets personal for you, because if this holds up, it means the next time someone is told their depression is in their head, that phrase becomes almost laughably wrong. It might be in their blood, in their joints, in the silent, invisible inflammation humming through their body while they try to figure out why they can't feel anything. Think about how many people that could rewrite. The friend who tried 4 antidepressants and gave up. The relative who insists they're just tired all the time. The coworker who seems fine on paper but is quietly drowning. For some of them, the answer might not be a better therapist or a stronger pill aimed at the brain. It might be a blood test. It might be a marker of inflammation nobody ever thought to check. And that reframes something even bigger. We tend to draw this hard line between physical health and mental health. Body over here, mind over there, as if your immune system and your mood live in separate apartments. But your body doesn't actually work that way. Your brain is soaking in the same bloodstream as your spleen and your gut and your joints. Whatever's happening down there, your mood is reading the room. So why has it taken this long for medicine to take that seriously? Part of it is just how science works. Specialists stay in their lanes, psychiatry handles the mind, rheumatology handles the joints. Nobody's job description says, go check if the arthritis drug fixes the sadness. It takes a weird, curious researcher to even ask that question out loud. And part of it is that the brain chemical story was just too clean, too marketable, too easy to put on a poster. A simple imbalance, a simple pill, a simple fix. The reality that depression might be many different diseases wearing the same costume is messier and harder to sell. But it's probably closer to the truth. Now a few honest caveats, because you deserve them. This was a small trial. Early promise is not the same as proven cure. The drug they used isn't something you can casually grab. It has its own risks and side effects, which is exactly why it's normally reserved for serious autoimmune conditions. Nobody is saying you should swap your antidepressant for an anti-inflammatory. That's not the takeaway. The takeaway is bigger and quieter than that. The takeaway is that the map of depression you've been handed, your whole life might be missing entire continents. And the people who've been told they're treatment resistant might not be resistant at all. They might just be getting treated for the wrong thing. Imagine being that person. Imagine years of being told your brain is the problem, that you need to try harder, think differently, push through, and then imagine a doctor finally checking your inflammation levels and saying very calmly, "I think your immune system has been making you depressed." Imagine the relief of that sentence. The grief of it too, for all the time spent in the dark. This is why this small study matters more than its size suggests. It's not just a new drug, it's a new direction. It's a hint that the next generation of mental health treatment might not come from psychiatry alone. It might come from immunology, from rheumatology, from the parts of medicine that, until now, were treating bodies that just happen to have minds attached. And it makes you wonder what else we've been getting wrong by drawing those neat little lines. How much anxiety is actually gut bacteria? How much brain fog is actually low-grade inflammation? How many people have been told it's all in their head when their head was just the messenger? So next time you hear someone described as depressed, or you catch yourself in that heavy, foggy place where nothing feels worth it, try this small mental shift. Don't only ask, "What am I thinking?" Ask also, what is my body doing? What's it fighting? What's it carrying? Because your mood is not floating in some separate realm. It's downstream of everything happening inside you. The brain has had the spotlight for 50 years. The immune system might be about to step into it. And the strangest part of this whole story is that the cure for one of the loneliest feelings in the world might have been sitting in a rheumatologist's cabinet the entire time. Maybe depression was never just a state of mind. Maybe for a lot of people, it was a state of inflammation. And nobody was listening to the body long enough to hear it.